Welcome to Jack's Literary Corner. I am Jack, and it's time for my wrap-up of Medieval-a-thon, although I'm working on this, particular book, Keeper of the Lost Cities, by Shannon Messenger, and I am sure I could fit this in here because, I'm almost done with it, so I probably could, and my goal was to try to finish it before August, so that I wouldn't have to I know I'll be able to return it when I get back from South Carolina, and, I'm sure I could squeeze it in there, so I'm gonna try to finish it today, but I wanted to get filming the video done now because, well, tomorrow I have appointments to get to in the morning, and I only have a few hours to an appointment to get to in the morning, and I'll only have a few hours to, chill and do what I want. And because I talk so much on these videos, this video would probably take up the whole time until I have to go into work, so. And then I think I'm working. And I just noticed I just printed out my new schedule and didn't even print. So I'm gonna have to do it again, of course. But I think I'm working Thursday. I think I'm working up until I think I'm working Thursday. I don't know if I'm just working today or Thursday. I don't know. If I'm working Thursday too. Although I would be surprised if they didn't put me for Thursday since I'm going, since I'm not scheduled for the 3rd, and that's when we'll leave. And then, and I forgot what I was gonna say, so. Oh yeah, Thursday is our busiest day because I think I said this before that it's the discount day for seniors at work, so a lot of older people will shop on that day, and this is originally a retirement community, so a lot of people will be. But anyway, so I might include this I don't know what prompt it would fit, but I am going to talk about the prompts, how they apply to all the books I did read, and then maybe I can find a prompt that this book would fit. But anyway, so let's talk about what I read. And this is my prompt list, just a notebook, scrap notebook. Okay, so I did not read prompt number 1. Well, the first prompt was build your own armor. Prompt number 1, I did not read a book with a crown on it. A book where a character fights for the throne. I didn't have that, although I could have, because the second book in the Seven Realms series does have a crown on it. But let me make sure. Okay, so this one does not have a crown, unless you count that. There is a little bit of a crown on the guy's forehead in this one, but it's so small that, and I don't know if it would technically count as a crown anyway. Yeah, I don't think it would. I don't know why. If that is supposed to be Drizzt, then why does he look so old? He's like an old man. But and I think you can have a character with white hair not look like an old man. I mean, Jim Caviezel, I think, is it Jim Caviezel or Henry Caviezel from as Geralt in the trailer did not look like a creepy old man. He has white hair. So there's not one on there. There's no one on Keeper of the Lost Souls, Lost Cities. There's no crown on this one, although one of the characters in this book is actually a king. There's no crown on that one. There's no crown on this book. And there's not even a crown on Malice. Okay, yep, like I said, I didn't read a book with a crown on it, so I can't apply that prompt. So I will not be getting the crown. So, oh wait, a book where a character fights for the throne. Okay, I misinterpreted that. So you get a crown if you have a prompt, if you fulfill the prompt of a book where a character fights for the throne. Okay, so sorry. So okay, so let me repeat that again. So you'll get a crown if you read a book where a character is fighting for the throne. Okay, so okay, so yeah, actually I have. So I will get a crown because you could argue that Malice is one of those where the characters are fighting for the throne. You have two princes, or a prince who wants to take his father's throne. So that could count. Prince Nathariel wants his father's throne, so in a way that's fighting for the throne. It doesn't necessarily fighting for the throne doesn't necessarily mean a good character trying to take back the throne from the bad guy. It could also mean like character. I mean, I don't know in Holly's mind was that Holly's intention, but technically it's still fighting for the throne, even if the character turns out to be a bad guy. Which I don't know if Nathariel's a bad guy or not. But I get the impression that he is kind of a bad guy or being used by evil or something. Or someone with a lot of power. And then, let's see. And this one also in a way, fighting for the throne. Because, well, I guess no, not really. Because, Reza, well, in a way you could argue, I mean, but most people will probably say no that have read this book. But in a way, you could say Reza, like the wizards are fighting for power, and you could say Reza's trying to keep the throne, and she's trying to fight for her right to rule instead of being just instead of worrying about getting a husband. It's kind of a weak one, but this does apply to a different prompt on here. So yeah, so I'm gonna count it. So I got a crown. Sorry I got that confused. Okay, prompt number 2 is the helmet, a book with a dragon on the cover. Nope, did not finish or read a book with a dragon on the cover. I had one in mind. I had 2 in mind. It was either Priory of the Orange Tree, but I knew I wouldn't finish it because if you guys have seen that book, that's a big chunk of a book. And then I thought about reading The Jade Throne. Which is the second book in the Temeraire series. Okay, so I don't have a helmet. I didn't get the helmet. I said I have the crown, but no helmet, which is not good, because if I go to war, then my head is in danger. Helmet is, pretty good protection. Prompt number 3 is Breastplate, a shiny book, and that's where the Demon King comes into play. This book has a little bit of a shine on the cover with this. With either the whole book is shiny, which actually this was kind of shiny for a little while, but I don't like the library protective covers, so I wanted to take them off, and that's when I took this one off. And then Eyes of the Dragon by Stephen King also was a library book, so I had taken that cover off. So that actually could have counted too, because that one had a dragon on. Not for this prompt, but for the prompt of the helmet, to get the helmet, because it had a dragon on it. But anyway, so see, this has a shiny little symbol in the center. It was either the whole book was shiny, or there was a shininess in a certain part of the cover. And this one has a shininess. Ooh, Robin Hopp learned it. But anyway, it has this symbol on the cover is shiny. So that means I get the breastplate. Okay, so at least my stomach is protected if I go to war. Leggings, read a thick paperback. Okay, so let's see. So I read quite a lot of thick paperbacks this time around. And she said it could be, it's whatever you define as a thick paperback. So, I mean, I just realized something. There's another prompt that I might be able to risk applying this to. I'm looking at the pages. I'll get to that, and I'll go over that in a minute. But, like, okay, so I read Malice, which is definitely really thick, although I started Malice, like, last year. So, but you know what? Who cares? It's still a thick paperback that I read. So, there's that one. There is this one. This is a thick paperback. And I'm not gonna count the other two because it wouldn't be, I would feel guilty. I would not feel right counting those because, and I guess Demon, although it's it's not a paperback, so I guess I can't count it. And then I did continue with, and I did read some of the short stories in another short story in Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy. I don't know if that counts. Maybe there's a rule against including short stories, and that's pretty thick. But then I guess no, because I only read one part, so I guess I can't. So never mind, I can't count that. Okay, so yeah, I read plenty of those. So, I get the leggings. Okay, so I have the leggings, the pants, and then boots, a book that has yellowed over time. And that's the one I was thinking about with, just now, with looking at the Demon King again. Although, I guess not really, because they're not that yellow. There's really not much yellow, so I guess it's still pretty white. It's a darker shade of white. It's an interesting darker shade of white. It's close, but it's not really that yellow. It's closer to just a really dark white shade. So, I mean, it has faded over time. It's not like pristine white, but it's still more white than yellow. So, no, I guess I can't really count it. So, nope, I don't have boots. So, I'm going to go bare feet, which really sucks because I imagine there's a lot of stuff that can get in your feet, and there's all that dirt and grime, and I will have to wash my feet every day. Okay, that was prompt number 5. Prompt number 6 for the building your armor is a book with a red dust jacket, although she said that it doesn't have to be the dust jacket. It can be any book with red, as long as there's a red on the cover, or as long as it has red on it. So I have 2 books for this. The Kings of the Wild, and then Sword of Destiny, the second book in the whole overall Witcher series. So, book B, as Elliot put it. And it has red on this part as well, where the title and the author is. You can see the red on the back. And then this one also has red. The title itself is red, and then the spine. So, I have 2 books that are red. Okay, so the next part is choose your weapon. So, the first part, sword. A book with something pointy on the cover. Is there anything pointy? I'll have to look at this one. Is there something pointy on the cover? I don't see anything pointy. So this one, but don't worry, because I have read. This one actually has a sword on it. This one actually has a sword. So then although you can't see the pointy part. But there's lots of spears. All these guys at the bottom have spears on them. And axes. So there's a sword, and then there's a bunch of spears and axes. And then Geralt also has a sword, and he has 2 swords actually. Although, like I said, she said it didn't have to be swords, it could be something just pointy on the cover. And the wolf head is a little pointy. Has all these sharp points on it. And then again, another book where there's pointiness on it. And characters with a bunch of weapons. So I've read a lot of books with pointies on it, and this has some pretty sharp angles too. Some pointy angles. See if you can see. On the amulet, it's kind of has some sharp points. Any pointiness, any pointy things in here? There's again, sword. The castle has points on the turrets. So I've read a lot of pointy books. There's nothing pointy on there. So I'm pretty sure I got a sword. Okay, so next is Daggers, a book with assassins. I don't have a book with assassins in it. Well, it doesn't, I don't know if it says it has to be about an assassin character. I was thinking about reading, Empire of Storms, or the, Assassin's Quest, which both are the main character's an assassin. But again, I never got around to those, and both those would take me forever. I would not finish them for this, so I don't know if you could. Okay, so originally I said, I did in my last video where I talked about Medieval-thon, I said that you could technically maybe you could count Geralt as an assassin, but because some people look at the creatures as victims, and some of them seem very human in the story. So, but that might be pushing it because other people might not want him to be seen as an assassin. I don't know, but you could technically, maybe it'll be pushing it with this one, Sword of Destiny. Although I think assassins aren't always seen as good guys. But other than the last, people are thinking assassins are cool now. But the other books I have with assassins, And then this one has a main character that's an assassin, and that is the character of, this is Kings of the Wild. The character of, well, she has two names, Sabetha and Larkspur. I don't know I can't remember Spur or Spar, but she's an assassin. She's a very unique assassin because she's a creature. She's kind of like a siren. She's wings. But I don't know if she's not actually considered she's not called a siren, but she has an ability like a siren where she can lure people, hypnotize them, put them under her spell. So, in a way, so they do have a book with a character that's an assassin. So, and what I wrote on here is for a book with assassins. So I don't think it matters as long as there's an assassin character in the story that plays like a significant role. So yeah, this is probably a better, more legitimate one than Sword of Destiny. And that's Daggers, so I get Daggers. And then prompt number 3 is Bow and Arrow, a book with elves. So originally I was going to count this one, Sword of Destiny, as my book with elves. Oh my god! That's why I could count City of the Keeper of Lost Cities. Although, as a book about elves, I could count that, but I'm not finished with it. And I don't know if I'll finish it by today or not. I just have to keep reading it. So yeah, that's what I could apply it to if I finish the book today. But in case I don't, this is Homeland is all about elves. Our main character, Drizzt, is a dark elf, and he's from a family of dark elves that are horrible. They're horrible families. There's like no love in that family, so they're really just kin. They're not actual family. You can't really consider them family because he shares their DNA, and she is the queen or whatever of his little kingdom. Gave birth to him, and she has the title, but she's not. feel like she doesn't have the role. She's like not a mother. She's not the way I would think a mother should be. But they're elves, so they're dark elves. And then the other one, like I said, I could count Keeper of the Lost Cities if I finish it today. That's my goal, to try to finish it, or I read as much as I can today. And then the last prompt, number 4, and the final prompt is a book with mercenaries. Crap. I was going to use Theft of Swords, I totally forgot to do that. So, well, there is a character, I think Camlin in Malice, that I think he's a mercenary. But that being said, Kings of the Wild also applies to that. These guys are a mercenary band that have come out of retirement to save one of their own daughter. Okay, so let's see. So I filled the prompts, but there's also one last aspect of it. This is just that prompt, but there's also, okay, I didn't write that part down, but if you read a certain number of books, you are, I think I would be, okay, so I read 5 books, so unless I finish Keeper of the Lost Cities, I've only read 5, so I think that means I'm a noble, because if you read one book, you're considered a peasant. If you read 2 books, you're a merchant, I think. 3 means you're a knight, or as a woman, you would be, I guess you'd still be considered a knight. You just wouldn't be a lord, you'd be a lady. A lady knight. So I think 4 books is a knight, and I think 5 books is a noble. I think. So I think I'm a noble, unless I get, because I think you're supposed to read 6 books. That was the final thing. If you read 6 books, then you would be considered a badass. Oh wait, no, it might be. Actually, no. 5 books might be a prince or princess, because then I think the final. If you read 6 books, you become a king or a queen, depending on your sex, obviously. So I think, no, actually I think I'm since I've read 5 books, as of this video, I would be a princess. Although hopefully a badass princess like Reza. You know, although she hasn't got a chance to do a lot of badass stuff yet, but I imagine she's going to do a lot of badass stuff later, because that's how it always works. And then someone hinted at me that she does become pretty badass. So that's how it went. So I got really close. I almost read 6 books. And like I said, I might be able to get 6 books in. If I finish Keeper of the Lost Cities, but I wanted to get this film now, during the day, when there's light, and like I said, I'm going to work tomorrow, but I have appointments in the morning, and I only will have a few hours, and because my videos take forever, because I talked way too much, I didn't want to risk waiting till tomorrow to film it, and I don't remember what day, which I guess it doesn't, I don't remember, when's my next day off before, because I can't, my mom, because I would have to explain to my grandma what I'm doing and she wouldn't understand it, I don't film videos while I'm down there, unless of course, if they go run errands, then I might squeeze in a video, like a review or something. But I don't like to, because again, I'll have to explain to her what I'm doing, she won't understand it, and so anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I hope you are and as always, I hope you guys are enjoying your reading, and I will talk to y'all later. Alright, bye!